So we got Jurassic Park The Lost World book versus the movie. And yes, the differences are just as large as the original. Now, of course, I read the original Jurassic Park, which means I've got to follow up with the sequel. And surprise, surprise, the book is again better. There are so many things about this book that are similar yet different to the original, in the sense that there's a lot more detail, there's a lot more scenes. There are scenes in the movie that were definitely not in this book, and characters that are in the book, not in the movie, characters in the movie, not in the book. So that's what we're going to talk about. I'm going to try to break this video up into chapters such as characters, scenes, overall thoughts, things like that. But if you've read the book, I want to know what your thoughts are in the comments now, comparing it to the movie. What did you like? What didn't you like? And so forth. Now, let's talk characters first. That's where things take the biggest turn, because obviously Malcolm is in both. There's no change there. But if you read the original book, you know Hammond dies in the original book. So he's in here, the movie. And that's where Malcolm goes to Hammond, because Hammond wants to go back to Site B, and Malcolm doesn't want to, obviously. And in the book, this one, there is another guy named Levine, or Levin. I don't know how you want to pronounce it. I'm not good with that stuff. But he's a paleontologist who is onto the fact that there was an island of dinosaurs and Hammond's creations and all this stuff, and he wants to find it. And Malcolm's like, I don't know about all this. This might not be a good idea. I should probably go and, you know, work damage control or something. So that's how that came to be. Now, if you remember the movie, this one, his daughter snuck onto the trucks, vans, all the equipment, and showed up there on the island. Well, guess what? In here, Malcolm doesn't have a daughter. She didn't sneak on here. But there is another guy, it's a professor of a university named Thorn. This guy has two students that are interning under him, or apprenticing, or whatever. They want to be dinosaur experts, just like everybody else. But they're the ones that sneak onto the island. So instead of Malcolm's daughter, we have Professor's students. There's two of them. And I like them in this book. I like these characters. I think they played well in here. And obviously, three characters that are not in here. But who we do have in both the book and the movie is Sarah Harding. Now, she, though, comes across in this book as kind of a hard ass. She's very, very smart. She's been involved in many expeditions with wild animals in Africa, and lions and tigers and all this aggressive stuff. So she knows her way around this crap. And she is not afraid to get her hands dirty. But unfortunately, in the movie, she doesn't come across that way. They say she is, but she comes across as kind of stupid, making dumb decisions that a professional wouldn't be making, and just kind of a little bit on the clumsy side. I mean, she has her smart moments, but in the movie, I'm just not impressed with her character and who they portrayed her to be. When now that I've read this, I'm like, you know what? I like this Sarah Harding in here. This Sarah Harding is what should have been in the movie the whole time. Now, two more I want to get out of the way that were in the movie. Roland, he was that safari hunter. He's not in the book, and neither is Vince Vaughn's character. Nick, the photographer, camera guy, he's not in the book either. So they're just kind of thrown in there to mix the story up. I guess we're going to do a safari hunt for dinosaurs to amp up the suspense and action, I guess. I don't know. But either way, those are the biggest differences. Now, there are other characters that are in there. They're just portrayed a little bit differently. Eddie, he's in the book and the movie. I feel like he was portrayed pretty accurately. He's a little braver in the book than the movie. I like the character in the book more. So let's talk about the scenes and the story between the two. Again, just like the original, the book is so much better. I can't believe I'm saying that, because I love the movies. Although, I will admit, this movie was not my favorite of the trilogy. It has to be the original, the first one, then the third one, then I'll follow up with this one. But the scenes and the in-depth detail that goes into the book is so good. It's so intense. And just like the original book, the gore and the detail in here is much stronger than in the movie. So when deaths happen, dinosaur related, it is bloodier, it's a little gorier, and definitely a little more horrific than a PG, what is this, PG or PG-13? I don't even know. PG-13. But the book does follow more Malcolm and Professor Thorne and even Dodson. Remember him from the original? He is in this book. He didn't die. He's still here. He's one of the main protagonists. He's on Site B trying to get specimens, and he's out for his own benefit to get, well, rich, basically. That's the whole idea, right? It's a get rich scheme. So they're trying to stop him, and he does cause quite a bit of trouble. Now, although the movie did try to portray scenes from the book, such as the Tyrannosaurus nests and the babies in there and capturing them and having to fix the leg and all that stuff, it didn't come across as well in the movie as it did the book. Just the detail and what they have you picture in your head from the book is totally different than what you pictured in the movie. So again, book wins that one. There's a lot of other scenes, even toward the end, when they're talking about the, what was it, the shed. They're trying to find gas. One, they're not trying to find gas in the book. They're just, you know, trying to look for safe haven from the raptors. The raptors are attacking the shed, and that was pretty close. I mean, that they did a pretty decent job of replicating that scene from the book, although there was a part cut out of there with the Carnosaurus. I can't ever pronounce dinosaur names properly, but you know, that guy, I'll put him up on the screen. There's a scene of him in here that I thought would have been really cool for the movie. Not in there. But I think what it is, the biggest issue between the book and the movie is the time frame in which the movie was made. Now, I understand that the original movie, absolute classic, they had great special effects. I don't feel we had the same special effects in this one. I feel like the special effects, the dinosaurs that were weaker in here than the original, and I feel like that played a pretty major part. Also, the ending of this book was so good. Like, I really enjoyed the ending of this book. It was completely different than the movie. The book, they didn't bring the T-Rex back to the States, all right? He never made it to shore. They didn't capture him. They didn't bring him back. He didn't wreak havoc through town. That didn't happen in here. And I'm glad it didn't, because honestly, that's what I hated the most about this movie, was the ending. I absolutely despise the fact that they brought him back to the mainland. That didn't happen here. This was a really captivating book for me. I absolutely love the writing style of Michael Crichton. I'm finding out really fast I like Michael Crichton as an author. I'm actually reading Congo now, and I'm thoroughly enjoying that book. I'll end up doing one of these videos on that as well. But this book, if you enjoyed the original Jurassic Park, I don't know that you'll like this one as much, but you will enjoy this book. I think the scenes in here, as detailed as they are, don't even come close to the movie. And again, I'm just starting to become a reader. My wife's a reader, so for me to be able to read a book like this, I'm kind of impressed with myself to get through something this big, but it's captivating. It really is. I enjoyed, there's different dinosaurs in here than the movie. There's different, the hide. Okay, the way to describe the hide that they had up, it looks like one thing in the movie. It looks kind of cheesy, like a little lift. It's described a little bit better in the book, and I like the trails and the stuff that they had in here. Oh, the boathouse. There was a boathouse scene in here toward the end. It's good. I like it. I like the ending here. Again, had nothing to do with bringing T-Rex to the mainlands. This had to be everything about getting off of this island. And there is a boat scene at the end. Really, really good. That being said, these are just my little observations between the two. Obviously, I'm not a professional at trying to explain details between the differences and what you'll like more about the other. I'm just telling you my experiences from reading the book and watching the movie. I did go back to back. When I got done reading this one, I went back and rewatched the movie. And honestly, I didn't like the movie that much after I read the book. So if you can explain any of your experiences from the book to the movie, leave it in the comments. I would love to hear it. And are there things that you would like to see changed in the movie, or things that you liked in the movie that weren't in the book? That's completely cool too. Hopefully you enjoyed this video. If you did, please give it a thumbs up and hit that subscribe button because I have Congo coming next. So I'll see you in the next upload.